Two observers, Abu and Badu, 46 meters apart, observed a bed on a vertical pole from the same side of the bed. Okay? The angles of elevation of the bed from Abu's and Badu's eyes are 40 degree and 48 degree respectively. If at the foot of the pole, Abu and Badu are on the same horizontal level. A. Illustrate the information in a diagram. B. Calculate correct to one decimal place the height of the pole. Okay, now let's start with the first question. We are asked to illustrate the information in a diagram. Listen. To illustrate the information in the diagram, I want to pay attention to some of the things that I'm going to be explaining. Listen. Let's say the first statement there says that two observers, Abu and Badu, 46 meters apart. So please pay attention. Okay, pay attention. Let's say this is the first observer. This is Abu. Are you getting it? And we have another observer, which is Badu. You understand? Let me draw Badu with black. Okay, this is Badu. Now, both of them are on the same horizontal level. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So the distance between both of them is 46 meters apart. You understand? 46 meters. So let's represent this as 46 meters. Do you understand? Both Abu and Badu observe a bed on a vertical pole. Now, let's say this is the vertical pole. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Let's call this the vertical pole. You see, listen to me. Listen to me carefully. If you are doing this in exam, you didn't have to illustrate all this. The reason why I'm illustrating this is because I want you to understand, okay? So this topic is coming from, this question is coming from a topic known as angle of elevation and depression. You understand? So I'm just trying to illustrate it so as to help you to understand, okay? Now, this is the horizontal pole. Now, both Abu, this is Abu, and this is Badu. Both of them observe a bed on a vertical pole from the same side. Okay, both Abu and Badu they observe the bed. Let me draw the bed here. This is the bed. Okay, they observe the bed from this side of the pole. Now, let's proceed. The angles of elevation of the bed from Abu's and Badu's eyes are 40 degree and 48 degree respectively. Now, look at this. The angles of elevation of the bed from Abu's. Let's start with Abu's. The angle of elevation from Abu's and Badu's eyes are 40 degrees. So that of Abu is what? Is 40 degrees. Do you understand? Okay. That of Abu is 40 degrees, and that of Badu from the same point, from the same side of the bed, and that one is 48 degree. 48 degree. You can see now. Can you see the diagram? Okay. Don't forget, the angles of elevation is the angle between your high level and the top. I get what I'm trying to say. So now they are observing the bed, right? So the angle between their high level, this is their high level, and what they are observing, that angle is what we call the angle of elevation. So we've been told that the angle of elevation of Abu is 40 degrees and that of Badu is 48 degrees. Now, okay. Now we have to illustrate the diagram and illustrate the information in the diagram. This is the illustration. You understand? Now, if you are solving this in exam, I won't expect you to put all these people. I just use this to signify Abu and Badu, just to help you to understand. Are you get what I'm trying to say? So if you want to draw it in the exam, draw it in this way. Just draw something like this. This is the illustration. Okay. This is the pole. You understand? This is the pole. This is the first observer. This is the second observer. Do it like this. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Do you understand? You can draw the diagram. You can draw the diagram in this way. You understand? Okay. You can draw the diagram in this way, and the distance between them is what? 46 meters. 46 meters. Do you understand? Okay. So if you are solving this in exam, you can draw the diagram in this way, and then it depends on you. So this is 46 meters, and this is 40 degree, and this is 48 degree. Do you understand? So you can still label also A, B, C, D, E. You understand? And you can call this place F. Are you seeing it now? So I just illustrate it here to help you to understand that the diagram here is also the same thing. Okay, now that is the first question. We have to illustrate the diagram. We have to illustrate the information in the diagram. So we are done with the first question. This is the first question. Now let's look at the second question. We are asked to calculate, correct to one decimal place, the height of the pole. Now this is the pole, right? Yes, this is the pole. The height of the pole is the distance between this point and this point. Okay, the distance here is the height of the pole. Now listen to me carefully. How can you determine the height of the pole? How do you want to determine the height of the pole? Listen to me carefully. Let's call this point, let's call the total length of this place x. You understand? Listen. Let's call the total length from this point, from the first, listen, between the foot of the pole to Abu's, to where Abu stands, let us call it x. Now, but we've been given the distance between Abu and Badu as 46 meters. So this will be what? X minus 46 meters. Do you understand? Just like you are given that the distance between this point and this point is 46 meters. And we know that total length from this point to this point is x. So this will be what? X minus 46 meters. Are you getting it? How can we calculate the height of the pole? Well, before we can calculate the height of the pole, let us represent this as y and let us represent this as z. See, let me tell you. To get the height of the pole, you need the height of this, you need the height of Abu and Badu. You understand? We need the height of Abu and Badu. Let's say this is z. This is z. The distance between this point and this point will be also z. So the height will be y plus z. Now, but we are not given the height, so we have to redraw the diagram. You understand? We have to redraw the diagram here. So neglecting the height of this of the people, you understand, neglecting the height of Abu and Badu. So I'm going to have something like this. Abu here, the distance, Abu here, Badu here, the distance is 46 meters, right? And the angle here is 40 degrees, and the angle here is 48 degrees. Okay, so this is the height of the pole. Now you can see now. So with respect to what we are given in the question, we need the height of these people to determine the total the height of the pole. But with respect to what you are given, perhaps they want you to neglect the height of the people. So with respect to what you have here, you can now determine the height of the pole without even knowing the height of these people. The height of Abu and Badu. Do you understand? Okay, so the diagram can be restructured in this way. So let's call this C, let's call this D. Let's call the total length here, let us call it x. So this will be what? X minus 46 meters. Do you understand? So now to get the height, let's look at the bigger triangle from triangle ACD. This bigger triangle, ACD. The triangle is this is the triangle from triangle ACD. This will be X, this will be A, and this will be C, this will be D. Now, the triangle is inclined at this angle. That is what? 40 degrees. You understand? So, I'm very sure you know what I'm doing. If you didn't understand, listen to the explanation again. Now, I want to calculate the height of the pole. Now, I am considering the bigger triangle now. Having labeled the angles, angle A, ACD, that is the bigger triangle, right? And I've already represented this total length, the total length of the adjacent side here as x. So I put x here. The total triangle, the angle that you're going to be focusing on now is 40 degrees. Like the angle that you're going to be focusing on now is 40 degrees. So I have 40 degrees here. Now this is the height. Okay. Now let's calculate the height. What combines both the adjacent and the height? Like what combines both the adjacent and the opposite side of a right angle triangle? Like what mnemonic device are you going to use? In this case, we are given the adjacent as this and the opposite as h. I hope you know that the height that we are calculating lies on the opposite side. You understand? So what are we going to use based on our trigonometry formula that we know? Are we going to use so, ka, or twa? Well, we have the height, which is the opposite, and we have the adjacent. So the suitable trigonometric identity or the suitable trigonometric formula is tan. You understand? So I'm going to have tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So now the theta is 40 degrees, so I'm going to have tan 40 degree is equals to the opposite, which is h, all over adjacent, which is x. Do you know? Okay, so let's now consider the smallest triangle. You understand? The triangle inside the bigger triangle, which is triangle BCD. You understand? This triangle BCD from triangle BCD. We're going to have something like this. We also have h here. We have now from this triangle now we are going to have x minus 46 meter as the denominator. I mean as the adjacent, x minus 46. Okay. If you cannot see my writing, let me redraw the triangle. Okay. If you didn't understand what I'm doing, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Now, this is the triangle BCD. You know. So this is what, x minus 46. Okay. Now this is 48 degree, right? 48 degree, and this is the right angle. This is the height. Now, with respect to what we have here, what trigonometric formula combine the iron? Okay, with respect to what we have here, we are looking for the height, which is h, right? And the height on this triangle is the opposite, you know, and the adjacent has been, you know, we have derived an expression for the adjacent, which is what, x minus 46 meter. Okay, yes. Now, what trigonometric formula are we going to use that combines both the opposite and the adjacent? It is still tan, you understand? So I'm going to have tan theta equals to opposite over adjacent, right? So the theta now is now 48 degree. Tan 48 degree is equals to opposite. Opposite is h, and the adjacent is what? X minus 46. Do you understand? Okay. Now, let us now solve it step one by one. For this, I'm going to have x tan 40 degree equals to h. You know, and for this, I'm going to have tan 48 degree multiplied by x minus 46 is equals to h. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, we have x tan 40 degree equals to h, and tan 48 degree multiplied by x minus 46 equals to h. Now, we all know that the height will still be the same. You understand? The height here, the height for the bigger triangle is still the same thing. Is the same as the height of the smaller triangle. That is, the height of the triangle ACD is still the same height of that triangle PCD. Abi, do we have two heights? We only have a single height. You understand? Whether you are considering the bigger triangle or the smaller triangle, you are still going to have a single height. So now, for the for the bigger triangle, which is triangle ACD, height is what? X tan 40 degree. And for the smaller triangle, which is inside the bigger triangle, height is what? Tan 40 degree multiplied by x minus 46. Now, since we are going to have a single height, we can equate this and this together. You understand? So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's call this 1. Let's call this equation 2. Okay. Now equate the height. Height is equals to height. That is, I'm going to have x tan 40 degree is equals to tan 48 degree multiplied by x minus 46. Do you understand? Okay. Now we can solve for the value of x, right? Now let's go. For me, tan 40 degree. Tan 40 degree is 0.8391. Okay, so I'm going to have 0.8391x is equals to, now, tan 48 degree, tan 48, that is 1.1106. So I'm going to have 1.1106x, you know. See, listen to me carefully. Tan 48 degree is multiplying x, right? Yes. So tan 48 degree multiplied by x, that is what? X multiplied by tan 48 degree. And tan 48 degree is what? 1.1106. So 1.1106 multiplied by x, that is what? 1.1106x. Okay. Now, for the second one, we have tan 48 degree, we also multiply negative 46. You understand? And tan 48 degree is what? 1.1106. Okay, let's go. 1.1106 times minus 46. That will give us 51.087. 51 minus 51.087 minus 51.0876. Okay. Now we can collect like terms. Okay. So I'm going to have 0.8391x minus 1.1106x equals to minus 51.0876. Okay. Now take the difference between this and this. 0.8 0.8391 minus 1.1106. That is negative minus 0.2715. X equals to minus 51.0876. Okay, so now from this point we can get the value of x by dividing both sides by minus 0.2715. okay, this over minus 0.2715 and this over minus 0.2715. so x is equals to now negative 51.0876 divided by 0.2 minus 0.2715. That is 188. So 188. Okay. So we have gotten the value of 188.167, or at most 188.167. Now the value of x is 188.16. or at most 17. You can leave it in 2 decimal place. Now, don't forget the goals. The goals is to determine the height of the pole. To get the height of the pole, we have already gotten the value of x as 188.1679, you know, but you can leave it in 2 decimal place. That is what 188.16 or 17. Sorry. Now, how do we get the height? Don't forget that the height is what? X tan 40 degree. So we can use any of these two equations to get the height, but let's make use of this, okay? Now don't forget that the height is what? X tan 40 degree. So the height equals to x. X is what? Now don't use the approximated value. I get what I'm trying to say. Use the real value. Don't use the approximated value. The approximated value here is 188.17. Well, now use this one, okay? Let's use this one. X, which is what? 188.1679 times, now tan 40 degrees, don't forget is what? 0.8391. 0.8391, okay? So the height here will be equals to, let's go, 188 times 0.8391. What's the answer? That is 157.89. 157.89 meter, you understand? Okay, so the height of the pole is 157.89 meter. Do you understand? Okay, if you didn't understand, just reverse the video and listen to the explanation again. Okay, it's simple. Now, sorry, we are asked to leave our answer to 1 decimal place. So we're going to have height is equals to 157.9 meter. Do you understand? Okay. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. You know, when I want to calculate this thing, when I want to determine the value of height, this value of x have been approximated to 2 decimal place, but this is the value of x that have not been approximated. You know, I just leave it in 4 decimal place. So this is what I use. Don't use the approximated value. I get what I'm trying to say, to calculate any other value. Use the unapproximated value to get your value, the value of height. Do you understand? And you might come across question that you're going to use your answer, the answer that you get. Make sure that you don't use the approximated value, okay? Let's look at the next question. So if you come across question on angle of elevation and depression in exam, it is very important that you know how to interpret first, you know, and make sure that having done the interpretation, make sure you pay attention to the details of the question. You know, this is the first structure that I got, but I discovered that with respect to this, we cannot find the height. We don't know the height of these people, like Abu and Badu. You understand? So they want us to neglect the height. So I proceed with this diagram. Do you understand? And I arranged the diagram, I used the necessary trigonometry formula to get the value of the height. Okay, so if you have any question as regarding this topic, angle of elevation and depression, let me know. Okay, now let's look at the next question. Now, the diameter of a circle center O is 26 meter if a chord PQ is drawn such that it is 5 centimeters from O to the center of the chord, calculate, correct to the nearest whole number, the angle POQ. B, area of the minor segment formed by the chord. Now, before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you like and share the video to your friends, okay? And also don't forget to give me feedback. Tell me what you learned in the video, tell me what you learned in the course of the class, tell me what you don't understand also, and in addition, tell me the topics that you want to learn, the topics that you don't understand, okay? God will help you in your forthcoming exam. See you in the next class.